case you guys didn't see the live stream, I figured I'd show it off. Even if you did see a live stream, I did not get to show it off inside the office. So just to give a rundown here, we have the marquee that came with it. It's in great shape. Top of the marquee here. There was a gap here. It ended up being that there was a mounting plate that was bent upward. So I rebent that back, and now it's sitting nice and flush. And now the marquee isn't higher on one side than the other. I have my ashtray here with my yen. We have a card reader here from one of the arcades. A little bit of wear from people's watches, but that's about it there. The entire panel is nice and clean. Kind of ready to go. This is my rival school stuff, but as you can tell, the panel here is in really good shape. In fact, all these panels are really good shape. There's no cigarette burns. He's found a nice home here. No wear there. Not hiding anything. Cleaned off the monitor glass. It's in really nice shape. Stickers in perfect condition. So let's go ahead and open this panel up and you'll start seeing why this was such a good find. So there is like no wear. Nothing is yellow. There's no dust. It is clean as clean can be. Usually those connectors on the buttons are all turned brown or yellow. These connectors are usually yellow. This clear protective film is usually yellowed and dusty and crap. I did not clean this yet, but there's no reason to. The wires look brand new. It's really weird. And then I have what I'm assuming is a Taito Fast IO. I could be wrong on this, so please let me know, but if it is, that's a huge score because I wasn't supposed to get one. I do have the custom IO ready to go here, so I can use the Brook adapter, but still really nice to have this. Right now, my front panel is off. I need to affix the key lock. I have one lock. I mean, it fits in there, but I don't have the nut on the other side. So I need to figure that out. But long story short, it's very, very new in here. We have this cable that came in a baggie for the amp, RCA to 3.5 millimeter. I'm assuming that's if you want to go ahead and output to a different audio source other than 3.5 millimeter. I had this really long, virtually new looking Ethernet cable shoved in here. So I can only assume that means at some point in time this was online. The coin mechanism, like everything else, looks new. There's no yellowing, there's no dust, there's no grime, there's no wear. Even the internals look virtually brand new. There's no yellowing on any of the cable connections, there's nothing going on. Inside the coin drawer, we have two keys, one of the locks, which again am missing the nut on, and a bunch of locking mechanisms, plus some spare hardware. Let's see here, just notice this. Here's the coin counter, 001062. That seems awfully low. Like really, really low. Yeah, seems like the condition is matching the coin counter. I mean, when I'm nitpicking some chips here. That tells you the condition that we're talking about, because we don't even have anywhere on the feet area here. The side panels look nice and clean. It's in just ridiculously good shape. So let's go inside the cabinet here. There's hardly any dust on the fans. There's a fan up above that I'm still trying to figure out how to get into. That cable that's coming in through the lock right there, that's just for my Stream Deck. Power is right there for both the internal power supply and the monitor. It came with both of these mounts for the control board. They didn't use them though for packing it, which I thought was kind of odd. They're in like stellar shape. Those are always lost because the arcades rarely keep them. Basically, once they're brought in, I think a lot of them just chuck them. GameSuru, I think his name is. He's one of the importers that are pretty well known on the project forums, on the arcade project forums. He was saying that they're always gone, and they're not necessary, but it's just a nice thing to have. I have this USB cable that turns into that type of connection. I think it's JST. So I'm assuming that I'll be able to use that on like my Namco stuff and run the square looking USB into the Brook adapter on my custom IO. But I mean, all the cables look brand new. There's a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. Leads down here. There's no dust bunnies or anything on it. So here we have plugs for buttons, holes, and a control board. Here we have a Taito machine keys bag. It's kind of floating around in here. Anything that's clear, it's not yellowed. Everything looks very, very new. I can at least say at the very least, no one smoked near this thing. This was included, which I'm pretty sure is hard to find because I've only been able to find one for sale and it's on Japanese Yahoo auctions. I think it's over 300 bucks, which is kind of ridiculous. Oh, those little plugs are for here. Oh, well, there you go. Okay, so it's the feet plugs. I just realized that. I'm learning as I go on the live stream. I got some help from Tuna, who's a good YouTuber, and some of his guys on his Discord. So I really appreciate the help from everybody there. But I learned how to take off the marquee and install the top marquee, and I was able to figure out how to fix that there. So nice. Now it's nice and level. The condition. This is really, really nice. So I don't know how much I really need this, but it's really nice to have, and I'm glad it came with it. I can't believe that I didn't get more screwed. That's basically the end all be all on that. I was supposed to get a couple seat, if you remember from my previous videos, but he sent these instead. And I didn't really appreciate that. This is the monitor that is inside my cab. I looked up the company. It's called Design. It's a Japanese company. However, the only 32-inch models I could find were made in 2018. It wasn't the product number. It doesn't mean it wasn't these panels, because I've heard on one of the other forums that apparently that's the entire monitor assembly, so I don't actually know what the actual panel is inside. There's a person down below trying to say that it was an LG. I really don't know. I could be talking out of my ass right now. If anyone knows what it is, please let me know. I would love to know the specs on it at the very least. I do know, like I said, that it has VGA and DVI out. This is GameSuru. This is the guy I was talking about before. This is his cleaned up cabinets that he sells, and they're just yellowed and everything just looks old, you know? So yeah, I'm pretty freaking impressed. So at this point, if you're asking who I bought from, it's a little controversial apparently, although my experience has been pretty much perfect. His name is KC. I know that he was banned on the Arcade Projects forums, and I can't speak to other people's experiences, and I'm not saying that they're wrong. I seriously doubt a bunch of people would complain about a guy if there was no problem. So he probably does have a shady past. But that being said, I can really only judge him based on how he's treated me. Like I said, the only thing that was a problem was that I ordered a couple seat and he didn't send me a couple seat. He said it was because it wouldn't have fit height-wise, so he sent these instead. I don't really like how that decision was made without my consultation, as I still want a couple seats, so now I have 2 stools that I didn't necessarily want to buy. But outside that, there was no switcheroo like what some other people experienced. The unit that he showed me in both pictures and video is a unit that I received. And I don't think I've seen a cleaner unit. In fact, I think you would have to get a brand new one, the one that's for sale right now for $5,000. That's brand new. I think you would have to get a brand new one in order to come anywhere close to this. I'm not gonna sit here and say that this is brand new, but as you can tell by the coin count, this has hardly had much of a life, and I doubt there's hardly any hours on the main components on this thing. The monitor doesn't seem like it's the one that's supposed to be in this, but it's actually kind of okay. I don't know what the resolution is, to be fair, so I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but and I still have to test this thing out, obviously, and put it through its paces. This is just the preliminary cleaning it up and getting the house. But I will say it actually kind of works out, because the Namco unit that I have coming in runs off of VGA, and I have a DVI to HDMI adapter for the PC already that I bought in anticipation of me getting a different Vewlix unit. So, kind of worked. I'm really not upset about the fact that it doesn't have HDMI, let's just put it that way. Take, my suggestion with a grain of salt, I suppose. Again, it's just my experience, but frankly speaking, I would recommend Casey after all this. Again, not going to sit here and say he's not going to screw you over. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know the guy, but he answered every single time I texted him. He either answered or called back within 15 seconds every single time I called him, and he didn't screw me over. Oh, and on top of that, the price on this thing was insanely cheap, and he didn't charge me for shipping from California to Arizona. Maybe, like I said in the live stream, maybe he's hungry. Maybe sometimes morality can be updated, so to speak, if you can't make any sales. Maybe not being on the forums has hurt his sales and he needs to sell shit. I really don't know. Honestly, I'm really shocked and really relieved that it didn't go a lot worse. I got completely screwed out of the cabinet that I chose, which was a blue diamond, by one of those trusted people. And that sucked, and that was stressful. And he didn't seem to give 2 shits or a fuck. So I guess my point is this, and it applies to me too. Don't go based on what other people say. Use your gut. If you think that something is going south and you think it's not a good deal, then don't do it. Even if 100 people on a forum go ahead and tell you it's a good deal. Now to do the hard part. So now to do the hard part and get this all hooked up and tested. I don't have my control plate from my Saimitsu, so I can't install the joystick just yet. I can at least put the buttons in, I suppose, and I can at least start putting the PC in while I wait for the Namco hardware. So there you have it. Just wanted to share. If you'd like to, go ahead and check out the live stream. I posted it up on my video section. So yeah, I'm stoked. Really, really happy. I can't believe I have a diamond black. Doesn't feel real. Definitely made the right choice. And that's it. I can nod out.